Great, 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 great. Let's continue with the underpinnings in terms of the countries that we are partnering with. The perspectives from the countries. Um, what do I have here? We just done Denmark. Let's look at USA. Walk the talk. I was married to a fantastic woman from the United States. Oh my God, what a girl. Unfortunately, we divorced. That's how these things go. That's how it goes with me. And that's another story that I have to tell. The Mission, The Women of the Mission is a book I have to explain because people start wondering that, hey, Jimmy, what's going on? Especially my mother's women and whoever. Let's say you came with one wife this year, then you came with another wife the next year, then you came with another wife the next year. What's going on? And you're standing up for women's rights, but it looks like you're actually a woman abuser or whatever. So I will have to write a very honest book on those issues, and it's crucial that we do because the World War One, World War Two, forget about that. World War forever is the war between men and women. So I've had my wars. If we want peace on earth, my contribution will be to be honest with you about my relationships. But no matter what, even if I divorced, what you need to remember is that I'm married. Okay? Um, Women, no matter how bad you think about your ex, always remember you started out by getting together with them. And whatever it was that led you to get together with them, you need to respect that and you need to remember it more than anything else. Unfortunately, the things come for us to separate, but make sure you do God's work and remember that that one is God's child and do right by that person and remember them in the right, in the light that is honorable to them and to their parents and their family. Okay, so we don't go and enjoy people and then abuse them and say, I am better and blah. It's not like that. She still is super fantastic, and of course I still love her, but it did not work. And in other parts it worked. So what worked? What worked is that she responded to the thing called Walk the Talk, which is my walk. And of course I met her while I was walking in South Africa, just days before my mother died. And she and my brother Danny were the crucial airlifters who lifted me out of the hole that I had dug myself into as I went into the research because I put myself out on a limb without any security. But through the love of my brother who made sure I got home to see my other brother who was establishing Kaisa Inn after the passing of my mother, and the love of this woman, I managed to get to Malawi and also to go to the United States, to come to Denmark to see my daughter, and to do things that I never dreamt I'd be able to do. If God had told me while I was in South Africa that I'd be in the States and I'll end up recording at Elvis Presley's studio and all these different things, oh my God, I wouldn't have believed it. And there were some Christians who had prophesied those things and I didn't believe them, but they all happened. And that's Nikki. So Nikki, love and respect to you no matter what. No matter what, baby. So we have this thing called Walk the Talk. And Walk the Talk, I'll be short because this is very expansive, it's very big. You're looking at America at the moment, and in America, the black role models are being executed. I don't mean killed. Well, yeah, there were those who were killed, but character execution is happening. But they have character executed themselves. But, it's just because they were propped up by whoever, and the celebrities from P. Diddy to whoever, blah, 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 blah. That's dominating the news. But we have others who are not celebrated. We have many who have made serious inroads in different ways. And to basically take care of all of that is why we established Walk the Talk. And so that's the American underpinning. I will not go too deep into it. Let's just say that with Walk the Talk, we would like to break the cycles that keep black people down in America. And so Walk the Talk also applies to the UK. So those two work together. And in the UK, we have incredibly tragic stabbings and shootings where our young people are killing each other because of postcodes. Spending time in UK and being close to this and seeing some of my co-workers going to funerals every week, it is heartbreaking. The disproportionate amount of people in prisons in America and the UK, it is heartbreaking. So these are very crucial issues, and the strategies are intricate and serious, and they're all laid out. And I wouldn't talk too much about them because I'm not the expert in what is actually happening, but I'm an expert in the strategy, and I'd like to leave it at that. So USA, UK, the approach is to take care of our young people, especially the males, and to break the cycle of recidivism, which is offenders going to prison and coming out again. And I almost cannot stop myself, and I should stop myself talking about it, because I think it would be offensive to just talk as though blah blah blah. The work is really deep. We don't want to offend the people who are in this, by talking about it on surface. It would be scammy, and we don't want to be scammy. But through Nikki, I got to meet, can you imagine, Obama's transport secretary, or secretary of transport, in Charlotte at a breakfast meeting. And, magical Nikki. Wow. Salute, gangster, total gangster. Tell you, Nikki, wow. So hopefully that should also make her want to continue working, if not at KSA, then definitely elsewhere in Malawi or South Africa or wherever, and with the qualifications that she has, which is the whole reason why we started Cool Mom Records, and next up Zanzibar for the empowerment of our women. And so that's the USA. USA is Nikki, and what Nikki does, basically, whether she gets involved or not, is the impact that she's had on me, and the literature that I've come across and educated myself in American issues because of what Nikki was doing and studying. As Malcolm X would say, educate a man, you educate an individual. If you educate a woman, you educate a community. Crucial. Salute. Okay. Jamaica. Jamaica is in a funny situation where all the things that apply to UK and apply to America also apply to Jamaica, but in a different way, because Jamaica is a place where all the things that apply to Africa also apply. So Jamaica really is the apex of the African experience, the global African experience, really. So it's very crucial. It's set up in such a way that, yeah, it really is special. So big up to all the Jamaicans. Jamaica, we have a complete program with you. And it is really based on reviewing every dynamic of the growth of reggae music, the dynamics of the business, and seeing how we can realign all of that to really engage Rasta and the objectives of Rastafari. I know from people who worked with Bob Marley that with Tough Gong he was on the way towards that, and I'm not sure what's happening with the legacy and how they're doing it, but because I have never sat down and talked business with Ziggy. I've interviewed him and met him a couple of times, twice, 3 times I think, but I have not spoken with him to know exactly what the strategy is with Tough Gong and all those things. But the movie probably reflects that, and in the long term, of course, he will come out proving to all his critics that he still has the integrity, because I trust in him. Everything that I've done, I grew up listening to Ziggy Marley music, from the time that I got conscious about this. It's funny, got conscious with Conscious Party. Ziggy is King David. He's a king, and if we can advise the king, it will be an honor to advise the king on what the next move should do, because watch and see. So I couldn't come and talk about this reggae thing without touching on Ziggy. And I got a great photograph of Ziggy with Nikki, and they look like family. So you have to count your blessings, you know. And we've built so much with people who have worked with Ziggy, continue to work with Ziggy, and the Melody Makers. So we want to have a comprehensive approach to reggae music and what we're going to deal with it, and how, from the African point of view, we really can make sure that all the objectives that they have in their music, that they want to do in their music, uh, can come to fruition from Cape Town to Cairo. You know, so that'd be really cool. So, you know, having said Ziggy, of course, the next stop on the brothers would definitely have to be Rohan, who just impresses me with his wild way, because that reminds me of me, really, the honesty, the recklessness, the purity within the bandit. Boy, you know, Rohan is a gem. But uh, Africa needs a Rohan. You know, observing Africa and what Africa needs to do, Africa needs a Rohan. Trust me. I can see it because I deal with Africa and I deal with reggae. But having said that, Ascali Selassie, who worked with the publishing for Bob Marley, is part of Cool Mom Records. And I've been blessed to work with her. And when I started out with this particular mission, the Most High Jah led me to 12 Tribes, which then led me to where I was pointed in the direction of Delroy Washington, who was an associate of Bob Marley, in a circle of Bob Marley, and he grounded me in the way forward with what we need to do. So to find that, you know, he set up a Federation of Reggae Music form, Federation of Reggae Music, and I don't think people have picked it up to take it to the vision that he wanted to, because, you know, Delroy was very, and he had principles, and, you know, so I don't think people really clued up on how he worked and what he was trying to get to. So I don't know if people could actually pick it up. I would love to work with people who do that. I would love to continue the work of Delroy. And on the other side of the UK and Jamaica situation, we have a brother who passed away, Paul Lawrence, who I mourn until this day, because we had almost established the Reggae Dollar together. We had established the Reggae Dollar together, and we would have had the tool to finance all the things that we're doing. But of course, first of all, I would like to reach out to his family and to go through a real process of mourning, because when I was doing the research on Paul to see what made him tick, I saw that he had actually made a trip to Zambia, to Zambezi, and I cried because he was this man and he'd gone to the land of my birth. You see him there. And the work that he did in the community in London. So that type of work that he did, and the people who supported me in London, people like Black Adred, Cheryl Seeley, Lee Jasper, it all has a Jamaican connection, and that's the Pan-African Marcus Garvey connection and all of that. So Garvey, let's say Garvey, okay, Marcus Garvey, forward to Africa, Marcus Garvey. That's the perspective for Jamaica. Okay, so here from Denmark, from the reggae scene in Denmark, we're going to be looking towards that. So there's going to be a next stop, Kingston, from us here in Denmark. See? Blessed love.